This is the Midway region, a Pokemon region based on the Midwest. And today, I wanted to go through some of the Pokemon designs we've made for the Midway region and change some things that I don't like. So, here are some of the Pokemon that I wanted to change. We've got the Weetuck line, Maverick, Buzzdober, the Dreglass line, Garowehead, Harkeen, and the Seedot line. These Pokemon are Weetuck, Sheetuck, and Queetuck. All introduced in the video on grass types. I think their design could be tweaked a bit to show off their personality a bit more. Starting with Weetuck, I wanted to change up the proportions mostly, because the old design it looks like it wouldn't even really be able to move. And I wanted to give it arms, just like the rest of the evolutions. Sheetuck probably changed the least, as it was mostly just the leaf on the top that changed to give it more of a feminine feel. Finally, Queetuck was changed mostly to show off its arms, since in the original artwork you don't really get much. Weetuck, Sheetuck, and Queetuck are all based on Buckeyes, a type of nut that is produced by the Buckeye tree, which is actually the state tree of Ohio. Next up is Maverick. So, I've always really liked its pre-evolution, that being Hellmetal. I think it's quite cute and it gets the point across. However, as of right now, Maverick feels rather forced. That being said, I wanted to change its design so it feels more in line with Hellmetal. Firstly, I want to change its name to Bullwreck. This is a combination of bull for an adult male cow, bulwark, a type of defensive wall, and wreck, like to break or destroy something. I believe this name fits the theme of this Pokemon much better. With this design, I mostly wanted to change up the proportions, as I thought the big back was kind of strange after staring at it for so long. Plus, I took out a lot of the metal bulges that covered the old design. After all that, I just changed up the pose a bit, and we are left with the final result of Bullwreck. I actually like this Pokemon now, and I think it fits better with Hellmetal, and the other cow Pokemon that will fill the Midway region. So, I know I wanted to change Dreglass and Mosaic ever since I created them. I couldn't tell you why until recently, but I've grown to dislike Dreglass's proportions and its weird arms. There is nothing I really like about Mosaic if I'm being honest. Well, besides the cry. Firstly, I wanted to change the color, as I don't think this weird green gives ground type enough. That being said, look at the new Dreglass. I made it look more like an actual pile of sludge that you pick up from the bottom of a lake. And I made the sea glass that it uses for glasses into a more vibrant choice of colors to contrast the sludge. Now, Mosaic here is actually the Pokemon that started this all. From the beginning, I never really liked its design all that much, and it differs from the original sketches that I was planning on making it look like. Since it is an evolution of Dreglass, whom idolized Mosaic, and it should be based on actual mosaics, this is what it becomes. This is the new and improved Mosaic, now sporting an actual mosaic for its design, with the sea glass being used as stained glass for its display.
Ooh.
This is Buzzdober, and there really wasn't a whole lot I wanted to change, aside from giving it different hands. The original design isn't bad really. I think the pickaxe hands are just a bit too small, and they also give more rock type than ground. That being said, here is the new Buzzdober, now with shovel hands. This is Garowehead, and personally, I think that it needs a big change. I kinda like the mouth, but I don't like the body shape and its weird eye, which feels like it's just kinda slapped on. With that in mind, I sketched out some new designs and came up with this. The new and improved Garowehead. I think that using the arrowheads as teeth rather than a whole head makes it much more interesting to look at. And with the new body shape to boot, that looks more like an actual Gar, I think that the new Garowehead might be one of my favorites in this new batch. This is Harkeen. It originated in the turning sports teams into Pokemon video, and even in that video I said, this is a design I was probably the least interested in, and that's no fault to Harkeen, but let me know in the comments how you think I could improve this design. So, I've always wanted to take a stab at it again. So, this is the new Harkeen. I wanted to challenge myself a bit by trying to make the yellow accent colors darker than the body's gray coloring. I felt that making the body dark and the yellow brighter was just an easy way out. Also, the pose is much cooler, and the eye looks way more threatening. Lastly for today is the Seedot line. If you've been following me on Instagram, you may have already seen these new designs, since I have been posting on there as well. With these two, I mostly wanted to change up the hat, as well as the proportions a bit, leaving us with these new designs. I think these turned out amazing, especially Nuzleaf. For Lifttree, I really didn't change much aside from giving it a different pose. So, are there any Pokemon in this video that you actually prefer the originals to? If so, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you have any ideas for new Midway Pokemon. Some of the best ideas will definitely make it in, and I read all the comments. That being said, keep an eye out for the next video, which will be about the Dark-type Pokemon found in Midway. And keep those running shoes on, trainers.